I'm just gonna say it right now. America doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. These past 2 months have been complete shit. Quarantine is shit. Stores closing is shit. E-learning or online schooling, however you call it, is shit. And the government basically is shit right now. Yeah, Trump's doing a good job, I guess. But what they're doing right now is completely nonsense. Now, if you don't know me, my name's Aiden Stewart, and I live in Peru, Indiana. I'm not going to enclose any more information because who the fuck does that? But I'm a man that knows his morals. And when it comes to times like these, I tend to be really judgmental about this shit. And right now that school is officially done for in a hilariously early time, yeah. It's May 14th, 2020, and yesterday was the last day of school. It was also the last day of our 2-month quote-unquote quarantine. So on March 13th, I was in my Spanish class, and I was telling a bunch of my people that my stepfather had gotten a message that school was going to be closing for just a week and then spring break, which would give us a 3-week break. Now, no one believed me at the time until my Spanish teacher got a call from the principal, and she announced that school indeed was going to close. Now, I was up on all these motherfuckers, like, what the fuck did I tell you? I told you school was going to be closing this week, but no one fucking listens to me now, do they? You know, everyone was kind of pissed off at me at that point, but everyone else was kind of glad that that we were going to get a 3-week break. What happened, though, was e-learning was kind of shit during that week. Yeah, it was easy, but none of the teachers really expected what to do because, I mean, besides January of, 2015 or something, we never had a 3-week break. The only exception with that particular week was because some big-ass snowstorm came, and we had to close school for an entire week. But this was just a different situation. The reason why we were being dismissed from school early was because of COVID-19, what was then known as coronavirus, or the Wuhan Chinese virus, or some shit. Now, when I used to live in Western and whatever, that was when we had a week off school. You know, things didn't really matter. I was probably playing on my Wii U at the time, probably not knowing what the fuck is going on, probably watching the news, seeing that all the Markland Mall and all this shit's closed. I didn't give too much of an ass. This time I did, because what would become the worst 2 months of my fucking life. So, as I was just expecting an average 3 weeks off, I was doing my math homework that I forgot to do, and my mother got a call saying how they were gonna close school until, May, I can't remember, it was May 11th or some shit. And I was like, no, it was May 1st, that's right. And I was like, oh fuck, another month off, this is gonna be good and whatever, but this e-learning's kind of shit right now. And so then time went on, and then the school just couldn't handle it, so a week later, after spring break, they just said they're just gonna close off the school year altogether and do e-learning. Now that really pissed me off, because I was done with e-learning. I really was. I was doing it, I guess. You know, I would do some classes that were easy and some classes that weren't, and when they see that they graded them and my mother realized that, oh shit, you're not doing your e-learning, that's when I started doing them, whatever. But I couldn't keep up that cycle for much longer. And with the incident that happened with my mother after her near-death experience, that really didn't fucking help. So here we are today. The first day of our actual summer. All the stores are opening up at 50% capacity for some stupid reason. The government's opening up to all this shit that we've never heard of before. And at last, We have a sense of freedom we haven't had since coronavirus was a thing. But there's now an even greater problem. Because all the stores were closed for 2 months straight, and because no one was out buying from these stores and whatever, and the government was being a dumbass, and all the states are the government was trying to bail out the states because even they couldn't afford the money to keep themselves economically situated or some shit. The stock market is now at its all-time low, almost, since the Great Depression. Employment rates are luckily going back up, but as of yesterday, I guarantee you shit was fucking lower than Great Depression. I guarantee you that much. All the stores are trying to recover, and I get that. But what they don't know is what's gonna come after this. Inflation, new taxes to pay for this $3 motherfucking trillion stimulus bill, and everything else is gonna fuck us up for us millennials. Now, I'm not talking about for us just millennials. I mean, yeah, there are probably college students right now that are probably oblivious to this and are just gonna realize here soon. But it's mainly for us millennials that are going to be in the workforce later. Because guess where all of our income is gonna have to go to? The bailouts and the stimulus checks. And that's something I'm not gonna tolerate. I can't tolerate the stupidity and the lack of preparation the government did for this COVID-19. I mean, hell, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was basically just the flu that was more contagious, and we didn't have a vaccine yet. That was it. And now, the elderly. The elderly and the immune suppressed, or whatever the word you would get for not having a good immune system, I understand that they need the risks. I mean, they understand the risks. I mean, the elderly are just stubborn, but then again, what do you expect from baby boomers? And shit like that. But when you close down all the stores and make everyone in quarantine and allow all these jobs to lay everyone off and everything, they didn't think about the aftermath of this. They didn't think about the inflation rates, the shitty economy that's probably gonna fuck us up for decades to come, and our reputation as a country to the entire world altogether. The Chinese didn't help after they, cut out a third of their production sales and shit. That fucking didn't help at all. But, needless to say, there's still hope in this. Yeah, we're still just recovering, but we could still make hope of this eventually. Maybe things aren't as bad as I'm explaining it. Maybe things are gonna be better than what they had been. But that's all for history, all for the future, and pretty much everyone in this country to say. Because if we don't stand up and make a change in this country that'll allow us to relieve from all the stress the government has created, then maybe we could be just as powerful as China. Or maybe powerful. Who knows? But yeah, as of May 14th, 2020, that's how shit's gonna be. And just a notice up too, I'm gonna try doing these blogs every day now about how my day's going, about certain events and shit like that. I'll try to keep up on it, but, you know, I can't really guarantee it. But if you want to go to my Instagram at stewart.content, that'd be great, and follow me. Yeah. And my YouTube channel altogether, though I don't really care about that much. It's mainly just for my archive of videos and stuff about shit. But, yeah. Enough of me. more about you. You continue on the shit you're doing. And I'll see y'all some other time. Peace.